also, for that hospitality video, there's some things I forgot to mention about why it's particularly exhausting to be roped into that. To be roped into, like, party preparation, stuff like that. Because, of course, like, we know it's good to celebrate people and things in our life, but it does come at a cost for how you go about it. Anyway, whatever. So, another thing I'm supposed to mention is that during these, like, parties we would have, you don't actually necessarily enjoy the party. Not that I enjoy parties anyway, but it's like the kids become the servants during the party, cleaning up trash, picking up after people, offering them cake, right? Oh yeah, I remember one time, because I made a rookie mistake, a super dumb mistake anyway, and I decided, like, oh, I'm gonna make my favorite cake, like, it was a strawberry box cake. Those Betty Crocker. Was it Martha Stewart? No, Martha Stewart or Betty Crocker. I don't know. One of those box cake with and it was a pink one. It was like the strawberry one with the frosting. Oh my god, like that's my favorite cake, right? Well, at least back then, it probably is still now. I just haven't made it recently. So anyway, I literally decided, like a rookie, I literally decided to bake the cake in the middle of the party because I said, okay, this is my food. Everybody else, they done had their food, but this is for myself, right? And I was so excited. I'm like, oh, I make my favorite cake. I make my favorite cake, right? And I had it in the oven. I put in the batter, the eggs, everything. I had it in the oven. It was all ready to come out. Then everybody, well, not even everybody, my mom was like, oh my god, it smells so good. Look at that cake. Did you make it for everybody? Like, she's so excited at me. I'm like, no, this is for me. Like, that's classic, bro. Literally. I've said that so many times in my life. No, this is for me. Right? And she's like, no. We gotta share. You have to share. Right? I was pissed, but you don't go against your Caribbean mother. So, I ended up sharing, and it turned into that food line like you have at church. Well, I was there, like, at the little station at the kitchen table. Everybody was rotating, like, in a line to come and get some of the cake. And there was this one little boy who literally got 3 pieces of the damn cake that was supposed to be for me. I was so pissed out of my mind, bro. See, just like that, I was ready to fight somebody. And again, like a newbie, I was like, I forgot to put a piece of cake aside for myself, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do. All the church ladies who've ever served in a food line will tell you, always put aside your own plate. Always. And if you don't, you're screwed, basically, You're lucky if there's any leftovers, So that day, like, of course I should not have been making that cake during, like, a whole public party, right? Of course it got robbed. Like, of course it got taken up by other people, right? But also, it shows, like, I wanted something that was just for me. Instead of doing all the things for everybody else. Instead of staying up, like, getting up early, not eating breakfast, whatever. It was, like, running around the whole house all day. Not even enjoying my own space because I was busy preparing the whole day for everybody else. Right? Take a break from serving. Take a break from doing the trash and the dishes. And serving guests and wondering how the bathroom got so messed up. I did not need to mention that, but anyway. You know what? Do something for yourself. And even that got snatched. You see what I'm saying? So that's why those kind of things make me pissed. And then number 2, there's another thing I needed to mention, is that, so just for reference, like, I went to school, and then my mom wanted to throw me like a grad party, right? And I was like, no, I don't want no grad party. I hate parties, because genuinely I don't really like parties like that. I don't like being around like tons of people at one time. It just too much for me. Like, my brain got a scan, and no, right? So I told her, like, no, we're not having a party. But anyway, I got kind of guilted into it. I was very adamant, but I lost out in the end, and reluctantly agreed to have the party. That's not even the point. One of the reasons I didn't want the party is exactly because of how it played out, right? One of the ladies who does the event planning, she had came and, like, set up the huge, like, archery decoration, right? And it's like, because we're all doing these things all ourselves, like, it takes a lot of, like you say, manpower. Like, it takes the energy out of you, even if it's quote unquote, like, what's it called, like low skill task or repetitive task, it still gets you, like, you know, even when you gotta put that cloth over the chairs, you gotta put some strength in your arm to fit the cloth over the chair. Anyway, it's not easy, like, you know, it still takes a physical exertion, right? Even if it seems like a simple task. So anyway, at the end of the party, or even during the party, like after we all done scrambled to prepare for it, then during it, the lady had passed out on the couch because she was tired, she was exhausted, didn't get sleep like since like 2 days ago or something, or was it a day ago? I don't know, like something, like she didn't get sleep or water or rest, right? And so this is also the reason I was against the party in the first place, because it's like I hate that it always has to be a pattern of, like, first of all, it's usually procrastinating. This part, that couldn't be avoided. I didn't want the party, so, you know, I waited until the last minute, quote unquote. That couldn't be helped. But even in events where we do have preparation, is always something we gotta work on last minute. And that's not necessarily a fault of ours. Sometimes it just works out that way, but then sometimes it is your procrastination, right? And then number two, you're sacrificing your entire day to prepare, right? Your entire day. You're skipping breakfast, skipping your nice TV show, skipping your shower, whatever it is, right? Then you get ready for the party. Then during the party, you gotta be like a servant and monitor and make sure everyone's having a good time. Clean up after people. Make sure there's no big mess in the living room, that nobody spills juice on your new couch, whatever. Literally, them kids be spilling juice everywhere. but anyway, but anyway, yeah, and then it's just the exhaustion afterwards, right? And the fact how, like, basically nobody helps you clean up. That's what I really hate, is the exhaustion. Nobody should have to be passed out on the couch after, like, just for a party. You see what I'm saying? Like, I do not like that pattern is normal now. Like, that's usually how it goes when we set up stuff. Not the fainting on the couch, but I just mean like the exhaustion that comes with the preparation and all the details. That's why we pay people to do it. That's why we pay, I mean, like, not us necessarily, sometimes we do, but like that's why people in general pay a party planner, or, like, you know, those people who do it for you. Like, it's a paid service for a reason. And the last time we were setting up for a party, I told my auntie, like, we were discussing this, and she was like, we often, like, say, oh my gosh, $200 just to set up these little boxes for the party favors, you know, and, like, tie the little balls, put the little candies in it. Because honestly, like, it got me mad that day. It really did. It was pissing me off because it was like all these little tiny things. It's like attention to detail, repetitive task. You miss one box, suddenly everything's chaos. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's really, like, tedious, repetitive. Anyway, she was talking about how, like, we often don't realize, like, we look at the price and we're like, oh no, I would never pay that. But then when done, as in, like, after everything, you realize, oh, now I understand why they pay that price. If I had paid that money, I wouldn't have to go through all of this, and they would have just set it up for me and shipped it all set, you know, shipped it ready to go, right? So, you know, I completely understand. That's why sometimes it's like, you know, I'm that person who really want to save my money so that I can pay people to do stuff for me, make my life easier, not have to do everything by, like, my own power, or by, like, you know, manpower, you know. Anyway, so that's the stuff I had to mention in the last video that I forgot.